Hi, this is Cathy Goodwin, and today we're going to talk about some ways you can create bodacious blog posts that get noticed from today's news headlines. You might get your news from Yahoo or Google. You might get your news by scrolling through Twitter posts because they have a lot of information about what's going on today, not always accurate. And you might get your news from a print journal or print magazine or print newspaper that you have delivered to your door. Why is this important? Well, your blog is the foundation of your online presence. It gets updated often, hopefully, so you'll get traffic to your blog. And a lot of times that's the introduction that your prospects and clients have to you and your services. Yet it's a challenge to write 1 or 2 times a week. So people are always looking for ways to get noticed with fresh content. And it's really important to have your content be fresh and special and stand out. First, you might want to post or tweet your blog post to social media, to Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn, and even Pinterest. It's a great way to leverage what you've written and to get attention because you drive traffic back to your blog to read the post. Secondly, the news media will pay attention if your content is fresh. I've been interviewed by the Wall Street Journal, the New York Times, Money Magazine, KQED Radio on different topics relating mostly to careers and relocation. And every time the reporter called, they would say, I've been through a lot of blogs, I looked through a lot of sites, but yours really stood out because you had original content that had significance. 3 ways you can use a news story. First, it can be an inspiration. You can juxtapose the news story about which we're going to look at an example, the royal baby, with a topic that you've been wanting to write about, say leadership, and say, okay, I'm going to put these together. How can I create something new and exciting from these 2 seemingly unrelated ideas? Secondly, you can write about a game changer story. That's actually a fact. It's something that's going to change the game for your industry, your market, your followers. And finally, you can leverage celebrity buzz. You can take a story or a bunch of ideas that you've had. Hopefully, they are still original and fresh, and you may enliven them. You can get more attention by framing them in the context of a celebrity or a famous story that's getting media attention. Let's take an example, the royal baby story, which is popular everywhere. One columnist, or blog writer, who is a male, and we tend to think of this as a female story because it's about a baby, but he's a guy, and he writes serious material about leadership. He wrote a story based on the royal baby, which is reflecting on the fact that this new baby is going to be a leader. He's going to be king if he lives long enough and nothing happens to change the monarchy, and he's going to have to lead. And yet, is he born to be a leader? Can he be made to be a leader? Are they the same? It's a serious question for an audience that is literally a buttoned-down group of people, but he made this work. Careers is another way you could leverage the story. For example, let's say you could write about Kate Middleton, the mom of this new baby, and you could say she was able to take several months off from her royal engagements so she could have the baby and take care of it afterwards. Could you do this in your job? That would be a really cool blog post. Another one might be something about this new baby. It doesn't ever have to go to a career counselor or consultant. He is never going to say, what do I want to be when I grow up? That question has already been answered for him many times over. So the question is, this is like an arranged marriage. It's an arranged career. How would you feel if that were the case for you? Because a lot of times it is. We're finding more and more that people's careers often are influenced by family and background and environment. You could also find a story that is about a fact that is going to be a game changer for your market. For example, recently I came across a story in the Wall Street Journal called the 140-character resume. It's about the idea that people are using Twitter posts to present themselves to prospective employers and recruiters. Well, the story could be new ways to job hunt, or it could be more general. It could be about management in general, about corporate life in general, about the idea that we're using our attention differently. We don't take in whole paragraphs and certainly not whole pages. We want our information tightly packaged in very tiny bites. You could also leverage an idea that you've had with celebrity buzz. For example, let's stay with the royal baby. If you're a publicist, you could write something like 5 publicity lessons from the royal baby story, using that story as an example to illustrate what you're talking about. When Tony Soprano was popular, I wrote something like 5 copywriting lessons from Tony Soprano. I also once wrote a post based on the PBS series Carrier, which is a really great documentary series about the U.S. Navy and a particular aircraft carrier. That post got a surprising amount of traffic because at the time the series was very popular and people were Googling carrier. And you want traffic because traffic drives other traffic. Ideally, you get targeted traffic, and this wasn't always targeted, but it definitely created attention and awareness for my blog post and my blog. If you'd like more, I have a free report, fabulousonlinepresence.com. I also have services that I can offer to help you if you'd like to work on your blog or your online presence in any form. If you'd like to work on your website, your blog, your sales letter, if you're promoting something, I'd be more than happy to talk to you to see if we're a good fit for what you'd like to do. I also have a URL here. I almost always have specials posted, and you're welcome to go and check those out. And some of them will be still in force, or there may be different ones by the time you click over there. So I want to thank you very much for joining me today. I hope you have a lovely day, and I would like to look forward to seeing you again on a future video and possibly a one-to-one consultation. Thank you so much for joining me.